Hi, welcome to our guided experience for the red tea number 1. But before we begin, let's take a moment. Try to make yourself comfortable and relax. Whether you're about to enjoy this tea by yourself, with company, in the morning, or after the sunset, we hope this experience can help rest and recharge your mind. For reasons I cannot name, this tea has always reminded me of the old rattan swing chair in our house when I was growing up. Maybe it's the color, the semi-dark and semi-gold look, like an elegant ribbon made out of an ancient tree. The leaves are unique in their twisted form and rusted texture, and if you look at them closely, you will see how the two distinct colors have been beautifully woven into every single leaf. Some leaves look as sharp as needles, and others as blunt as spoons. And if you put your nose close to them, your sense of smell might even be overwhelmed by its vibrant sweetness and fruitiness. What you have here is an example of the Chinese red tea, also known as black tea in the West. Just like our white number 1, it also came from the Yunnan province, a province that is known for its vibrant cultures and the remarkable landscapes. For your information, Yunnan is also widely believed to be the birthplace of tea, home of the world's oldest cultivated tea trees discovered so far, some 3,200 years old. But unlike its white counterpart, this red tea was born much earlier than the white. In fact, it was first crafted in 1938, exactly 66 years before the introduction of the white number 1. The year before its creation, Japan invaded China. Within less than a year, the Japanese army managed to take over 1/3 of the country, wreaking havoc on some of China's vital tea production and export regions. At that time, tea was one of China's few exports and the main source of foreign currency, something the government desperately needed to acquire artilleries and other key military supplies. To be able to defend the nation, Yunnan was tasked to create a new red tea, one that could compete internationally with the Assam red tea. When it was first crafted, it was given the name Yunhong, later renamed as Dianhong. Both names literally translate as Yunnan red. So this is the dark origin of this rather elegant tea, a wartime creation, one that had to be created to regain the heart and mind of the British tea drinkers. This might sound a little counterintuitive, but in order to slow down with tea, you first need to forget about slow down. Instead, try to direct your full attention to the tea in your cup. If you're having trouble focusing, try close your eyes and take a deep breath before each sip. Feel the warmth of the cup and how that warmth is traveling through your palms. Bring your tea close to your nose. Take a gentle inhale and feel the aroma enter your body. Take a small sip, savoring the tea in your mouth for a second before swallowing. Concentrating your mind on how the hot tea ripples across your tongue and swirls from your mouth. Does the tea taste fruity, floral, or earthy? Keep your awareness on the inside of your mouth and your palate. Think of the warmth that's flowing through your body. Now, try to let go of any stress or tension on your mind and in your body. Let go of the need to overanalyze or the need to think, and embrace the feelings from drinking this tea alone. This tea is known for its strong fruity profiles and the lasting notes of roasted nuts, chestnuts in particular. To understand where those flavors came from, first you need to understand how this tea was made. The tea you're drinking right now was picked from a 40-year-old tea tree grown in the forest of Mount Nanor. This forest is located at the peak of the mountain, with an average altitude of 5,906 feet, or 1,800 meters. What you need to understand here is that elevation is perhaps one of the most critical factors in determining the quality of the tea prior to its processing. As the altitude rises, a few things change with it. First of all, altitude affects the crop yield, because as you climb up the mountains, the air gets thinner, colder, and the terrain gets rockier. And these changes have profound impacts on the growth of the tea trees. Colder temperatures can disrupt trees' enzymatic activities, interrupting its flow of nutrients, therefore hinder their growth. Rocky terrain also means that water is more likely to escape downwards, making it harder for the tea trees to retain the water they need for growth. However, you will find that slow growth in tea tree often translates to better flavors. In order to survive, the tea trees have to transport more carbohydrates from the roots to their leaves. As the level of carbohydrates in the leaves increases, it also enhances the natural sweetness and creamy texture. Secondly, higher altitude also helps with pest control. As temperatures drop, fewer insects can be found. This not only eliminates the need for pesticides, but also reduces the bitterness in the leaf. As most of the bitterness in tea came from a compound called polyphenol, which acts as a natural pest control for tea trees. With fewer pests, the trees produce lower level polyphenol, which means give the tea more pronounced aroma and aftertaste, and reduce the bitterness. To say that the conditions for tea trees at such altitude are harsher would be an understatement. But those tea trees that manage to survive and thrive in such harsh environments are the trees that yield the best teas, giving the leaves more complexities in flavor, less bitterness, and enduring characters which allow for higher steep counts. Good things take time, and not to mention the abundance of compounds left in the tea leaves are ideal for aging, making them more delicious and valuable over time. Moving on to processings. This can sound a little reductive, but a great tea is often the end result of two things: an exceptional environment of which the tea plant was grown, and the excellent crafting skills of the tea makers. This red tea has gone through 5 stages of handlings before it ended in your cup. First of all, the leaves and the buds are hand-picked from a tea tree to ensure highest quality and minimal damage. The leaves are then left to wither inside a warehouse with sufficient light and ventilation. The purpose of withering is so that leaves can lose their moisture level, making them more robust and durable for the forthcoming rolling process. By the time that the majority of the moisture is lost, the tea leaves are taken to be rolled by a machine. Rolling serves a few purposes, like reshaping the tea leaves, bringing out the essential oils, and breaking down their sours, all of which make infusion easier and smoother. In the 5th and the final step, the leaves are dried under the sun to lock in the complex aromas and flavors. These steps also help get rid of any remaining moisture in the tea leaves, leading to a longer shelf life. Towards the end of this recording, I'd like to take a moment to say just about how glad I am to be a part of your tea journey. We spent almost a year building Good Slow, from finding the best teas to designing a meaningful slowdown experience down to every cup, recording, and article. We started these projects because we think that as the world gets faster and crazier, it's more important than ever for us to be able to slow down and know where we're heading. We wanted to create an experience that may feel and seem counterintuitive to the mainstream attention economy, one that deliberately avoids mindless scrolling and swiping, and one that can meaningfully impact how people feel about themselves and the larger world around them. Even just for a fleeting moment, we want you to only think about the tea in your hand, to perceive its subtle yet transient flavors and the unique texture of the handmade clay teaware. We hope this can help steer your mind away from the stress and the anxiety of this reality, and experience a moment of clarity and joyfulness.